I'm Chronix from the most extreme wrestling, and this is your Smackdown review for November 5th, 2011. I actually got this as a request on my brand new iPhone from Ziggy0819. Hey, I was going to review it, but I ended up having to do a lot of stuff. Crystal and I had a lot of things going on, and I tried to watch Smackdown in a library, but it didn't really work. Because, I mean, it's a library, you know. And when I saw this first match, Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes, I was all super excited because it's like a Falls Count Anywhere or something like that. And it was a really good match, and I was really enjoying it. Some of the things that I really liked about the match was that Cody Rhodes kept using his mask. He got the figure 4 on Randy Orton, which is always great. Love the figure 4, one of my favorite submission holds. And it really hurts, if you don't know that. The move really freaking hurts. He's got Randy in the submission hold. Randy's not tapping. He takes his mask off, bashes Randy Orton in the face, which everyone loves to see Randy Orton gets bashed in the face. They started out the match inside of the ring. Of course, it spilled out outside of the ring, and then into the audience. Then the little baggers, is that what they're called? The two guys that hold the bags, they try to attack Randy Orton. One guy gets a bag drop, the other guy gets an RKO for his troubles. But the match continues, and unfortunately, after 2 bashes in the face with the head and the mask and all that, Randy Orton still comes away with the victory, which completely sucks. But this match went over 20 minutes, which is incredible, but I guess not for SmackDown. SmackDown is known for having much longer matches, but it was a good match. Like I've said so many times, Cody Rhodes is future star, man. He is future #1 head of the company possibility. I'm not so sure about that, but he will definitely be up there. I don't know hardly anybody else right now that I think is going to be the top of the company besides like Cody Rhodes and Dolph Ziggler. And yeah, Cody Rhodes definitely on my list. Circle Cody Rhodes, even though he lost this match. He looks like $1 million. He wrestles great and gets some serious heat from the crowd sometimes. Next match, a guy that at one time I would have thought would have been next head of the company, and still sometimes I kind of see it, but yeah, I don't know. Ted DiBiase. Ted DiBiase versus a guy that I never had any faith in, Tyson Kidd, who is finally no longer sporting that little thing haircut, and he's now got actual hair growing. Good for you, dude, but unfortunately, you still look way too generic, and I'm surprised you're still working for the company. They're still building up Ted DiBiase as this great super face guy that everyone wants to hang out with the parking lot and everything and be part of the DiBiase posse. I don't really get that, but okay. Add some fake cheers because it's SmackDown and it's taped. Whatever. Ted DiBiase gets Dream Street, and that's over. Next, we get an interview with Mark Henry, the World Heavyweight Champion, backstage. He says, no rematch for Big Show, which I say, well, that's good, because I really don't care about seeing another match with the Big Show and Mark Henry. Daniel Bryan is hanging out in the backstage, and Mark Henry looks and he says, are you looking at me funny? And Daniel Bryan's like, what are you talking about? I didn't do anything, because he's the Money in the Bank holder, you know. So I guess Mark Henry is a little bit upset. He's a little bit scared, I guess, because he knows that there's a guy sitting there, and at any moment, especially the most I guess, I can't think of the word, what is the word? The most unopportune moment, whatever, for Mark Henry. When Mark Henry is at his lowest, when he's at the most beaten down, is what I'm trying to say. When he's at the most hurt, most vulnerable. I can't even pronounce it now. Jeez. But when he is at that spot, he knows that the Money in the Bank winner could be coming in there right for his title. So, I guess he's scared of Daniel Bryan or whatever. I mean, he should be. He's like a submission specialist. He can grapple and all this kind of stuff. Only thing Mark Henry's got going for him, besides being the whole World Heavyweight Champion thing and everything, is that he's freaking huge. So, yeah, that was kind of weird, but I guess it sets up things for later. Alicia Fox coming out fighting Natalya, an incredibly short match, which totally upset me, and it even more upset me that Alicia Fox won. I mean, what kind of crap is that? Oh my gosh, that just really upsets me. Big Show gets a promo, and his promo kind of sucks. It gets interrupted by Christian, and Christian pretty much just ignores him, which is fine, whatever. Christian awaits his match for Sheamus, but Christian gets chokeslam, I guess, for interrupting Big Show. So big chokeslam to him, but now he can't wrestle a match. So now it has to be changed, and Sheamus has to fight someone else, and it ends up being Wade Barrett. So that was a okay match. Wade Barrett looks like $1 million. That's another guy I would put on my future of the WWE kind of thing. Future World Heavyweight Champion. He's big, he can wrestle, he can talk, he can really incite some people. The match gets interrupted by a spear from Christian. So, yeah. Well, actually, Wade wins. This was after the match. So, yeah. Christian and Wade go to the back holding hands. Wade Barrett and Sheamus fight in the back, and that quickly gets broken up, as you can possibly imagine. Backstage, we see Daniel Bryan and the Big Show. Big Show's, I guess, trying to convince him that he should cash in his Money in the Bank or something. I was like, what? Okay, now we get Sin Cara versus Epico. I don't know who this guy is, never seen him before, but he wrestled a good match, and that was great. Good, high-flying match. I thought it was fine. I have a feeling that other people on the internet are going to say that it was horrible, because every time Sin Cara gets in the ring, everybody says it's awful, which I don't really get. I mean, come on, they're wrestling a really complicated style form of wrestling, and if they make minor mistakes, they're blatantly obvious. It's hard to do a perfect match when you have so much on the line and so many things going on at once and doing so many flips and turns, and you have to land exactly right. Ease up on these guys, seriously. But this match ends in a DQ because Bad Sin Cara, Hudako, comes out and causes disqualification. So that's crap. Now again, Mark Henry versus Daniel Bryan in the main event. Oh my gosh. I mean, of course, you know that Mark Henry's putting the beat down on Daniel Bryan. But he gets a little bit, he starts fighting back a little bit, but now he gets beat down again. Big Show comes in there and causes a DQ. I'm like, what? You're a face. What are you doing? Then Big Show is like, no. He's pouring water on Daniel Bryan. He's like, no. Cash in your Money in the Bank now. I just punched him one time in the face, so that means that you'll be able to beat him for the World Heavyweight title because I punched him one time. So this will cause you to win the belt. And I'm like, this makes absolutely no sense. So I'm starting to get frustrated because I'm thinking that it is possible that Daniel Bryan is going to cash in his Money in the Bank. The Money in the Bank that he promised he was going to cash in at WrestleMania, he's going to cash it in on this episode of Smackdown, and it's going to be completely to waste and make absolutely no sense. What was that sound?
I don't know.
Anyways, so he goes in there and he's going to cash it in, but thankfully Mark Henry gets the World's Strongest Slam on Daniel Bryan and ends those happy thoughts. It didn't happen. It wasn't official, so thank you. Oh my gosh. I so hope that Mark Henry goes to WrestleMania. I so hope that Daniel Bryan cashes it in at WrestleMania and goes and tries, just tries, to beat Mark Henry at WrestleMania for the belt. Is this a foreshadowing? We don't know. So, well, I guess I'll see you on the next Smackdown, and I will try to review Smackdown. It's so hard to see it, but I will try. And I will see you all there.